All right. I'm finally going to share the secrets, but don't tell anyone. And that secret is my tips and tricks on how to play Lancer. A lot of people ask me this because I do main Lancer in Rogue Company and I play her at a very high level. I solo queued about 98% of my games all the way to Rogue rank back before they made it easy to get. And so I have a lot of experience on the character. I think I play the character pretty optimally. And so now I'm going to share with you guys in a relatively quick format the basics of how I play Lancer and how I think it leads to my success as a Lancer main. With that being said, one of the first things we're going to talk about is what do you buy? People always ask me this, what should I get first? How should I build out my character? And so I will tell you what I do and why I do it. I normally start with either a smoke or a Simtex on that initial pistol round. I don't upgrade the pistol. I don't get an axe or something unless I'm trying to have fun. I get the smoke or the Simtex depending on the map and depending on what our play is. So specifically, if I'm trying to take B on factory on attack, I'm going to get a smoke. I'm going to utilize that smoke to cover our cross on the left side so that we can push further up towards the right, towards the site, right? Certain maps, let's say I'm playing defense on Skyfall. I like to get out mid very quickly, get around the statue and have a nade or a Simtex rather, just in case they try to get very aggressive over towards Aquarium. I throw that down, I slow that push, I call for rotations. So that is why I always choose that. Next up, if I can get Lifesteal, if I have a big enough first round, and I've got my gun now, and then the following round, so this is probably round 3, if I can get Lifesteal, I'm going to do that. If I can't, I'll probably just get the opposite nade of the one that I got before. So if I had a smoke, I'll get a Simtex. If I had a Simtex, I'll get a smoke. But soon as I can get Lifesteal, whether it's that time or the one after that, I get it, because Lancer with Lifesteal is the peak Lancer. You're able to roll for your reload, which is her passive, but you're also able to, if you down somebody, you roll, now you have almost full HP, you have a full clip, and you can really get multi-kills back to back to back by hitting these maneuvers with that perk. So that is one of the best aspects of Lancer, is her hard carry or multi-kill potential, in addition to, of course, what we'll get into about her ability, which allows her to go quiet and run quickly. So next up, I normally like to go with Stalker. Actually, I like to be able to move quickly while I'm ADSing, and I ADS a very high amount, I think, compared to some people. So it's very helpful to me. From that point forward, I typically will try to level up my weapon. So I will go for the level 1 increase, which is hipfire accuracy. I will go for the level 2, which increases damage range, and then level 3, which is mag size. So now some people are like, why would you get mag size when a reload or a roll count causes a reload? Well, because still being able to not give that little break of time to hit that roll can really be beneficial. And so I find that it helps me a lot in those initial engagements if I can just one clip that person. Now, from there, I like to either then level up my smokes and get 2 of them. Now, there's a downside to that. Leveling up the smoke, since they added it to where a fully capped smoke will slow you down running through it, can be kind of counterproductive. Like, you'll get a second smoke, which is great. You can make plays with that. But if you try to run through it, you will now be slowed in the process. And that normally causes some really weird issues. I've definitely caused myself to be eliminated from a round by running through my own smoke when it's been leveled up, and therefore I am slowed down. Now, some other things, now we get into a little bit of the tactics, is what I like to call the bait and switch. A lot of people try to force flanks as Lancer. They think they have to go for the flank. They have to be super aggressive. They have to crack their ability and run behind them. And you simply do not. Lancer can still be very strong, straight up in a fight, and a normal, I'm going to hold this position or I'm going to take this peak sort of format. And so the bait and switch is something I like to do on sites where you can get fast flanks or rotations from the site you're at, in which case I will show myself as Lancer towards the site. Let's take Icarus, for example, a site. I'm playing back in between or around the 2 doorways as defense, right? They can come through long or they can go through the cut. I'll let them see me there around the cut towards site. Well, once I know that they've spotted me and that communication has probably been called, that means the person watching flank may have rotated off. They're no longer worried about Lancer. From there, because a crack of your speed just a little bit further towards middle will allow you to get all the way around, I will then do that. I will use my ability and I will fast flank, and a lot of the time I can catch people off guard. That is what I call the bait and switch. You can do it in a lot of ways. You can run off to one side to bait somebody over there as soon as you hear the footstep or the character start to head in the direction that you were going because they want to catch you. You crack the speed, you run in the opposite direction. You can make a lot of plays like that. So that's the bait and switch. And the same idea of going back to people forcing the rotations. or rather forcing flanks and things like that, find your gaps. Lean on the information and the comms that you get in order to find gaps in the enemy's defense that you can exploit as Lancer. If you don't have a gap, don't worry about it. Don't force a gap unless you have some backup, unless there's some communication where your teammate's going to cause this to happen and you're going to do this. Don't force it. Don't overcommit to these plays because you could be throwing your life away and feeding the win to your opponent. You have to know when to hold and when to cancel what you're trying to do as Lancer, because if you overcommit, you will lead yourself down this path of always doing that and always being punished for it, especially if the other team is reading you very well. Another thing is to roll intentionally in both an offensive and defensive way. Some people wait all the way till the reload starts to happen and then they roll. No, sometimes you deal a decent amount of damage, hit a couple headshots, hit a fast roll to dodge some of their bullets and to start off with another mag so you can really finish that kill. Sometimes somebody else comes around the corner, you got to be able to still have a couple bullets, hit the roll. Same thing in a defensive way. They've hit 2-3 shots when you're going at them, roll to get out of the way, roll to reposition or to get a full clip so that you can take that fight. Maybe you made them miss once or twice, or you messed up their rhythm on the shots they were hitting. Roll with intention other than just the reload. It's a benefit, it's a huge part of it, but it can be more than that, and you should use it as such. Moving forward, just because you have to be super aggressive and you get your roll for reload and you're going for these gunfights doesn't mean you should ignore your utility. Your Simtex grenade can be massive to force people out of positions, into your crosshair, to do extra damage, to get multi-kills, all that sort of stuff. And smokes are just as helpful. Being able to smoke off a position so that you can then lose line of sight to pull off your ability and hit a fast flank without them knowing. They don't have vision, they can't hear it, they don't know what's going on. They would expect to be able to hear it if you push through it. There's a lot of things you can do with smokes, and so make sure you are utilizing that utility to the best of your ability. It will greatly increase your success on Lancer. I feel like a lot of people just kind of throw that to the wind because they view her as a just straight up I have to push and fight character, and that is not the case. So again, to reiterate, you don't have to play recklessly or ignore the basics like checking your corners, clearing positions, and that includes even when you're going for your fast plays. Make sure you are playing Lancer in a way where you are reading the room, for lack of a better terms. You know where the gaps are, when you need to take your chance, what you should do if they're not giving you the chance. It's okay to play a normal version as Lancer if your flanking or your over aggressiveness is not working. You don't have to force that. A lot of people fall into that trap, and if you do that, then once they start to beat it, then you keep letting them beat it, and it's kind of like the whole idea of insanity, right? You're doing the same thing over and over, hoping for a different result. Instead, change your gameplay, play a normal style. She's still very viable in that context, and that's how you should use her if needed. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it was helpful and you learned something new, or at least it influenced you in a way that you'll be playing Lancer to a higher level. I know it's very hard to answer all the questions you guys probably have because it's going to be composition based, like what's your team comp, what's their team comp, what map are you on, what's working, what's not working. So it's very hard to cover all that, but hey, maybe you guys want map specific Lancer tutorials or tips. If you do, let me know down in the comments below and we'll see what I can work out. If you guys want to ask me questions specifically or see me live in action as Lancer, please don't hesitate to come by twitch.tv/heartbreaker_TV. I'm live almost every day starting around 6 o'clock Eastern time. We'll love to see you guys there. Hopefully you guys are giving this video a thumbs up. You enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, and until next time guys, stay safe.